Hello, and welcome to the Asylum. I'm your host, Don. With me today, as always, is my co-host, Jeremiah.
And I have the meat. Oh, it's not that type of thing.
Wrong Ving Rhames. Wrong Ving Rhames character. So today we are going to talk about zombie apocalypse as chosen by our picker wheel. Beatrix. She's sleeping.
So this is one that is I'm not sure if it's a spoof of Walking Dead, but there's definitely homages to Walking Dead in it.
Yes.
And stuff like Army of Darkness, there's homages in here. Romero, there's homages in here. So this is, I'll just say it out front. This is a perfectly okay zombie apocalypse movie.
It's watchable.
It doesn't stand out as great, but it doesn't stand out as overly offensive. There's some good ideas. They don't have the money to really do it fully, but I'm gonna start. It's perfectly okay.
Perfectly okay.
It
Yeah,
didn't hurt my soul.
It's a watchable film. It's not, down there with Battlestar Wars or Pirates of Treasure Island. It's watchable.
Oh, it's definitely. So can I start off? I'm gonna start off with the what the heck, the bad, the what. The opening montage tells a story of like this hospital where this woman gets a virus
In Italy?
in Italy.
Yeah.
And then somehow within a week, it has taken out most of Europe.
All of Europe.
And then gets the United States. And within a month, they like set off an EMP in the United States to stop the zombies.
Yeah, so that's like the first, what is like in the opening explanation. They say they set off EMPs to slow the spread, which makes literally no sense. Like
I'm not sure how that even works.
We're gonna shut down all money, all forms of communication besides face to face,
Electronics like electric fences,
all
grid.
electronics. Everything is shutting off because this will somehow make it easier to stop the zombies.
Just following their own logic, they could have just set up a grid with a never-ending rave, and the zombies would always go to the rave.
Yeah, that literally makes
That'd be a fun movie. Zombie rave party.
Zombie rave.
So that's one of the bad. The setup is terrible. It makes Resident Evil, like Paul W.S. Anderson Resident Evil movies, setup look great. Okay, like how they somehow go from we escaped the city that got nuked to the entire world is gone and there's zombie birds eating people. But another bad, as with every Asylum movie ever, the CGI is not up to snuff. There's not a lot of it here though, which is good.
The explosions are so bad.
Oh, they look way better though than the ones in Megafault.
That's true, but they're so bad and they're so fake. But nothing is worse than the CGI zombie tiger at the end of the movie.
And the weird thing is, it's still better than a lot of the CGI creatures we've seen in other movies because at least it moves like a normal creature. It just doesn't look very good.
It literally looked like it was glitching out at one point, like you were playing at Bethesda.
But they didn't have it repeat motions and loop like your favorite pythons and Gatoroids.
Not like pythons.
Kind of like boogie back and forth for a while, or Sasquatch or Bigfoot. Sorry.
Yeah. The CGI budget definitely was shown at the end of the film. Bea agrees. You can hear her in the background.
And the other thing I'll complain about is, okay, they had extras in this movie, which I appreciate. They had action scenes in this movie, which I appreciate. But none of them felt like they had a choreographer. Some of them look outright dangerous. We're like, I think someone might have gotten hurt there.
Really hope that Ving Rhames' sledgehammer, which Ving Rhames is a black man named Henry that uses a sledgehammer. That's not racist. But I really hope that the sledgehammer was like made out of cardboard for the scene where he literally throws it at another human being. Because otherwise, that's real dangerous. Which somehow he throws it with enough force to crush the zombie tiger's skull.
Yep.
And then it like gets embedded. And the zombie tiger falls over and it's still like sitting there. It's wonderful.
So that's the bad. Then there's the okay, which in this movie is pretty much the acting. It's all okay. None of it's like outright offensive. There's been
Ramona,
worse in most of these movies.
Ramona very clearly read her lines right beforehand and sounded like she had smoked an entire pack of
It's
cigarettes.
better than one of the ones in Avengers Grimm who looked like she was literally reading it off cue cards.
That's
She
true.
grimaced the whole time. Like for this series, she's fine. And she's been in other movies. Like she has been in 8 Mile, she's been in Hustle and Flow. She's
Really?
working on like 8 movies right now. She's been in Orange is the New Black, 87 episodes of it. She's Tiffany Doggett in that one. She's in Hawaii Five-O. She's a working actress. She was in Sons of Anarchy. She's definitely a working actress.
She still sounds like she smoked an entire pack.
I just don't think they ever gave her any instructions though. Like
that's fair.
I think they just said we're walking around and we're going to kill a bunch of zombies. Now, the other okay is yes, this is a zombie movie. The cool thing is they use a lot of different tactics. The bad thing is I don't think they thought through most of them. They just thought crossbows, sledgehammers. Why would you use a crossbow instead of guns? Well, run out of ammo. Yes. Oh, we're also the archery team. Okay. But then they use stuff like golf clubs.
Crossbow. We're part of the archery team. I'm going to use a crossbow. That doesn't cross over. Crossbows are a different weapon than a bow and arrow. Logically, it makes sense, right? And like the guy even says in the movie, like you go into a sporting goods store, everybody steals the guns and bullets. They leave behind the bow and arrow because they don't know how to shoot a bow and arrow. Makes sense. I'll accept it. But then she's using a crossbow.
Like, yeah. Yeah, I agree. But so tactics are all over the place. The general story is okay because it's pretty much zombie apocalypse happens. They want to get to the safety place, and they team up with others to get there. Yeah. You know, the zombie makeup's okay. There's definitely been worse in the Asylum movies. The zombie makeup is actually fine. I do wish they had done more with like there's like a super zombie in one of them. He's like a big buff dude that Ving Rhames fights. I thought they were gonna do something more with him. Like they showed his face after he got down. I thought they were gonna have him like open his eyes and like get up and he'd be stalking them like what's his name? The guy in Resident Evil 2 that's like stars the whole time. Nemesis. Yeah. I thought something like that. They like stalk him, have a super zombie stalk him. But they didn't.
Which is fine.
It didn't really hurt the movie. They just didn't do it.
Yeah,
they did kill all the black guys really quickly, most of those part, which is like, okay, you killed the black people.
They killed Ving Rhames at the end. He made it all the way to the end.
Yeah, but and they killed other ones early, like really early.
The first dude to die is a minority. That is true.
And they're quite dumb when it comes to like, oh look, sound attracts things. Let's talk the entire time.
Nothing. Just the opening, that first scene. 3 people, 2 guys and a girl, sneaking along, and they come across this store that's empty. Everything's taken, but there's a vending machine. And then they proceed to beat the crap out of this vending machine. And like, oh, that's not gonna attract the zombies that are attracted to sound as you're loudly beating on this vending machine. Like, you deserve to die. I'm sorry. Like, it just is what it is. If your sense of self-preservation is that low that you can't quietly figure out a way to break into a vending machine, then you probably deserve it.
Yeah. But that's the okay, I'll say. I will, and it is filmed okay. Like, there's nothing really bad about the way it's filmed at all.
No shaky cam, which is nice. I was 100%
cam, yeah.
shaky cam. I was expecting quite monster level shaky cam.
And they didn't have the weird like sets that you've seen before that it is colored again differently.
Yeah, which was
I was expecting like Ballroom Blitz though to be played during like a certain fight in a building, but
probably
that might have cost too much money. Um, now
they the money they spent on this movie they spent well, in my opinion.
yeah,
Like
they used it to make a serviceable zombie movie.
yeah,
I will say this. Now here's some good stuff I did like. First of all, though they did follow a lot of zombie conventions, they did break away just enough to make it work. Like there's the bit where they had, they used like a giant sound thing to attract a bunch of zombies.
air horn.
Um,
Yeah,
they use a
they're
variety of weapons and acknowledge that guns are not very good at taking out zombies.
yep.
Even though one of their pistols has an abnormal amount of ammo.
They even
Um,
they even had that conversation about the flamethrower. Remember,
mhm.
where like the guy was like, "Why would you like use a flamethrower?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, you light a zombie on fire, and it's now you just have a flaming zombie coming at you." And he's like, "Well, eventually." And he's like, "Yeah, eventually, but like that's not going to help you in the moment." He's like, "Oh, that's cool."
And then you
Um,
have like the he uses the chainsaw once because he just wanted to use it. There's stuff like the guy's dream talks about how he wants to get to the safety so he can go to the bathroom and shower without having to worry about being murdered because they always have someone with them, and the one girl has always had guys watch her pee the entire time, which I
yeah,
thought that's a logical thing. Like, oh, you always have someone watching, which makes sense. They thought about that. No one went
yeah,
off alone, which is something they do in these type of movies all the time.
yeah. No, they
So they thought about that. Then the guy, found an outhouse, which yes, character wise, he'd get excited. He opens up, there's a zombie inside, which we all knew was going to happen.
great.
Um, and I also like it how the guy gets bitten, and rather than keeping it secret, the guy sees it, and then it's like, yeah, you're
He,
dead. We're going to kill you right now, and they
yeah,
like
he
murder him.
I really liked that scene, except for it was also stupid. So I liked that like he sees that he's been bit, and he's like, "Oh no!" And he's like, "All right, everybody, stop talking." They're hiding out in a van so that the zombies don't see them, but they're all like gathered around. He's like, guys, stop talking. I have been bit. I am going to run outside and distract them so you can get away. And I was just like, that's wonderful. Like, nobody ever does that in a zombie movie. But then Max, the leader of the group, is like, no, dude, you can't do it. We can't just sacrifice you like that. That's messed up, man. And then he transforms into a zombie, and Max snaps his neck. Like, we can't let you sacrifice yourself, but I'm going to snap your neck. They didn't like it either. Silly.
Um,
So
but
I
I do
like,
admit it's like they just freaking offed the guy, which I'm like, okay,
yeah,
that
like
works.
there was no drama, a little bit of drama, but like there was no, oh, I'm gonna hide that I've been bit or anything like that, which was great because that's like the number one cliche in zombie movies is the one person who got bit and doesn't tell anybody. So then they turn and they have to deal with it. And it's like, nah, this guy's just like, hey, I've been traveling with you guys for a while. We're all friends here. I don't want any of you to die, and I know I'm gonna die. So I got bit. Let's take care of it. I really appreciated that.
I also appreciate that the cast for the most part I've recognized. Like for example, we were talking about the main girl. Oh, you're gonna grab the baby.
Beatrix. I know
Do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do,
being a rock. Huh?
do-do-do-do,
I know you're a
do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do,
notice.
do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do,
Yeah, again.
do-do-do-do-do-do-do,
Gonna start yelling at the camera.
do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do,
See your, I know everybody wants to see your beautiful face. You know what? Really, as soon as I get into the Song of Storms, change to Tetris. Rude.
Do,
She
do,
might.
do, 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 do,
She doesn't
do,
have
do,
much.
do, do.
uh,
Okay, cast.
actors.
So we already talked about the main girl. Everyone
Ramon.
already knows who Ving Rhames is. He
Right.
is Ving Rhames.
Bing Rams. He's got the
Literally just
meats.
acts like Ving Rhames acts,
He's got the
and he's
meats.
fine.
Cassie found out.
And then you have Johnny Paycar, who's the one who gets off a little earlier. He's in lots of little things. Honestly, the main series I know is the gymnastics series, Make It or Break It, which I have definitely seen. Um, you have Gary Weeks, who actually I saw him the other day on Spider-Man: Homecoming. He's one of the agents, Agent Foster. He's one of the agents in that one. But he also showed up in No Way Home and so on. He's also in Cloak and Dagger. Um, he's in lots of things. Um, then you have Robert Blanche, who's in this movie as one of the survivors, of course. He's in Grimm, like a lot of Grimm. He's Sergeant Franco in Grimm, if you've seen Grimm. Um, you have Lillian Bowden, who's like the chick with the cool hair, who the guy who gets bit flirts with,
Yeah.
who uses a bow. She's in lots of things like Murderville and Andy Mack. She's actually, I believe, the mom in Andy Mack, which is a Disney Channel like very well respected series. Um, you have
Yeah.
a chick who's in Spartacus in this one, and in Gotham as the main chick who wants to be with her
Cassie.
husband. Definitely wants to be with her husband.
Yeah.
Um,
Cassie.
you have other players who have been all over, not just Asylum movies, but things in general, which is helpful.
You know,
You have
this was a surprisingly good cast for an Asylum film. Just the fact that it had Ving Rhames in it was a surprise. But like, just as for like, Asylum normally has maybe one known actor in their movie who's like the draw, like
who
for
would be like an '80s pop star that just happens to be there.
yeah, like War of the Worlds, Annihilation had one of the Baldwins, or how Bigfoot had Alice Cooper show up in it, like something like that. They get like one person, but this one they had Ving Rhames, who is well known for fighting zombies. Robot Chicken even made fun of it, and then they also had
A bunch
you
of
know
other actors who have been in lots of things that are not like
not
Leslie
not
Ann Brandt has been in a ton of TV shows I watch. Like
yeah
Anya Mazekova, the blonde lady, she's even in music videos of like metal stars, singers that I know. So
yeah,
that was good.
not like well known actors and actresses, but well experienced actors and actresses.
Yeah.
Which is why the
Now,
acting in this movie, compared to quite a few other Asylum films that we've watched, is actually pretty good. It's not great, like none of them were like doing an all-star performance, but they did a fairly good job.
and then let's show the not as good. This is a tiger. I don't know why
Theoretically,
there's zombie tigers by the port. I'm not sure. The zoo
they
isn't near there.
they should have gone with like a zombie shark that could get on land.
And
That's
so this
more.
whole thing is they're trying to, I think they've made that, it's called Land Shark. So this whole thing, what they're trying to do is they're trying to get to the port so they can get this ferry that takes them to Catalina, which is this rumored safe place. And they get to the port and it says ferry comes on Wednesdays, and they're like, "What day is it?" We have no idea what day it is.
I loved that like Cassie was so butthurt that Julian died while she wasn't there that she's just like, Julian would know. It's just like that's an absolutely necessary thought process right now, lady.
And so they're there, and then they see all these bodies and body parts everywhere, and they're like, "Those aren't zombie killings. These people are like ripped to pieces." And
Yeah,
then these
and
tigers attack.
single
Ving
player.
Rhames kills one of them, two of them.
Yeah, kills them both.
Um, yes, one does definitely use the samurai sword. This tiger looks better
Looks
than the snakes.
it looks like it's wearing an eye patch.
It looked like it was wearing a skin suit. Like when you rendered this, they didn't render it as one piece. But oh
Yeah,
well. Zombies look okay.
that one's about a breakdance.
Crossbow, spike thing that she uses. Ving Rhames. Also, I got
Yeah,
a comment like, "How come you're not winded all the time?" And he's like, "I just don't talk." That's how Ving Rhames doesn't get winded. He just doesn't talk. I have no idea what the heck this thing in the background is supposed to be for. It serves no purpose.
It's like just a cool visual, I guess.
This is my favorite of the characters because she has a cool look. Didn't do anything with it, but cool look.
I think that Ving Rhames was probably my favorite.
Zombie makeup.
That's the first dude to die.
Yep. I like that shot. That shot's funny.
Like it was nice that they had extras. Like the money that they spent on this movie was actually very well spent for an Asylum film. This is an Asylum film that honestly probably deserves more love.
Who saves a screenshot like this?
Yeah, all blurry and stuff. I don't know.
More of that one.
And
Yeah, see, she
again,
has a really cool look.
yeah,
Crossbows. This definitely has a Walking Dead type feel. And they did go and make Z Nation after this, and Z Nation went on for 5 seasons, so they clearly had bigger
yeah,
success.
yeah,
Baseball bats,
yeah. They
pistols.
they use a variety of weapons throughout this. You got the guy with the baseball bat, the lady with the katana. Um, One guy took a golf club for some reason, which is the worst.
Just strangle a zombie with, clearly.
Yeah, if you're ever in the zombie apocalypse and you break into a sporting goods store and you're trying to figure out what to use as a weapon, golf club is your worst option by far. A golf club is made out of a very thin metal because it is intended to hit a very small rubber ball. So if you use a golf club to hit a zombie, it is going to bend and be worthless. Don't use a golf club.
Um, but I will say, the music is almost fine. At the end, they do get to the port, and it does leave them there, and then they're like just sitting there. And I was like, oh no, they're just gonna end it open. We don't know if they're gonna escape or not, and then open up for sequel. But then at the very end, they show the shot of a boat pulling into the harbor they're filming at. I'm pretty sure that's not the dock they were actually sitting at. It does not look like it. It looks like they're just like, we need a boat. Where is the
Yeah,
boat pulling in? We got
they're
one.
just like fly our helicopter over and catch a
Find a
boat.
boat.
Just find a boat. But yeah, which was nice. I appreciated that they didn't leave it with like the Catalina thing isn't real, and they didn't leave it with an open ended. Is it maybe real? Like I like that they gave us like a good, solid, happy ending
Do you
ish.
want to know what Bruce thought was going to happen?
What did Bruce think?
Bruce was like, is this going to be like Lost World? Are there hands and body parts all over that boat? And then they're going to open up the bottom and zombies come out? Like,
Oh, well,
no, we have like 3 minutes left of runtime, dude.
it would have
Oh,
been a good
well,
ending
that would
though.
have been a better ending.
Would have been a good ending.
Or like pull
I,
up to the boat and then all it shows is the boat pulling up and just those body parts everywhere and zombies on the bottom. And then cut the credits. Like that would have been a fine ending for this type of movie.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but I'm surprised, like, dude, when did you watch Lost World last? I don't know. But it's fine. I'll say this movie is fine. It's perfectly serviceable. It's not great. It's not one I'm going to watch again. There's nothing
yeah.
amazing about it, but I will say it was not insulting to my intelligence. It was big enough, and review wise, it is one of the better reviewed um, movies they've done, which I appreciate. I'll say it's more consistent in tone and effects than Avengers Grimm, though the story itself is not as fun as Avengers Grimm, but it's definitely more consistent in quality. In fact, it's probably more consistent in quality than any of them that don't have like the bigger budgets, like the Titanic 666 is a bigger budget. War of the Worlds Annihilation is a bigger budget,
Six six. I did a review on before we started doing Welcome to the Asylum. If
and
anybody,
Shark Side of the Moon. Shark Side of the Moon has a bigger budget. I'm just saying,
your
like, it's more consistency than usual.
your favorite Asylum film, Shark Side of the Moon.
That's because that movie just makes you smile the whole time. It's like someone wrote this, and it doesn't look dumb. It doesn't look bad enough that it's like,
Someone wrote this.
yep, someone did.
It's true.
Now I'm
There's
not sure if anyone wrote Battle Star Wars,
I'm
but
still I'm
someone wrote
still
Shark Side of the Moon.
I'm still with you on the belief that Battle Star Wars did not actually have a script. They just like filmed some random stuff and they're like, let's piece it together here. But
There's
I do
something.
want the Palpatine ripoffs bathrobe because that thing's phenomenal.
But this movie, yeah, I actually can say it wasn't painful. I did have to watch it in two bursts, but it wasn't because of the movie. It's because I just had like exhaustion smacked me for a few days in a row, and I just had to stop. Um,
Yeah.
but
On our
it's not bad,
sliding
really.
scale of Asylum films, I would put this probably right under War of the Worlds Annihilation. I think I would recommend War of the Worlds Annihilation over this simply because mech suits. I
Yeah,
love
it
mech.
has cooler mechs.
Yeah.
And of course,
Uh,
also, I guess there's more branches of the military than one.
I would put this in the same area as like Mega Python versus Gatoroid, but for a different reason. Mega Python versus Gatoroid is, serviceable and watchable because it's entertaining and stupid, whereas this one is a higher quality. It's just not high enough quality to make it a good film. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's like watching TV.
Yeah,
It's a team made for TV movie, but it's like it's watching TV.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
So if you're scrolling through Tubi and it pops up and you have nothing else to watch, probably watch it. It's not horrible, but like don't take the time to search it out to watch it. Not like Avengers or Shark 7. Those deserve to be watched.
yeah. So, on that note, let's pull out a picker wheel. The fact that it wasn't a terrible movie means there's not a lot of weird stuff to say.
That's true. This is one of the better films that
I
we've
am
watched.
not looking forward to this movie.
Two-Headed Shark Attack?
No, the 9/11 Commission report.
Fair.
Let's hope this
Wheel
movie
of Fire.
exists.
Burn, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the movie that we will burn.
Oh no.
Hey! Didn't we bring this movie up? Did you curse us, Jeremiah? I feel like we brought this up when we talked about Pirates of Treasure Island.